Hey, welcome to the stream. I'm just going to do some little bit of backdrop designer and talk a little bit about some of the pixel shaders. So obviously my favorite one is the Commodore pixel shader, and I'm going to show you how to make like some pipes. There's different ways to approach pipes, I suppose, and one way I'd like to do it is with the set 5 square. You see that gives me a kind of gradient effect, and I'm just going to plot that down and do auto update so I can see what happens if I change some of the features. You can also see what happens up here. Right, so this color 3 is obviously a kind of mid gradient, and that's what we want. So I'm just going to give it a base color of, say, like dark brown, like this, and the highlight color here, I'm going to change this up a bit like that, and that's the start to our pipes. Now I want these pipes to run kind of diagonally, so I don't really have a easy way to do it, I suppose. I could rotate holding control to snap to 5 degrees, kind of like that, right? Make kind of bend in the pipe. So I want to make it sort of isometric. So I'm going to bend it like this and rotate until I get, I'm going to hold down shift to fine tune it and rotate it until I get a nice step in the pixels, like there, and then I'm going to undo to get rid of that plot, right, and do something like that. I'm just going to grab a circle, and you see the colors are the same, but I'm going to switch this so that it's the center point, and I need to pick this color here, so I'll just alt pick that, and doesn't exactly get me what I want. This isn't going far enough. Right, I'm going to take away the background tone, and let's make black. Oh well, can't really do it. But anyway, I can grab a section here like so, and just got P. I reset everything here and delete those. I'll do original color. I can do something like that, and X will give me that direction. I'm just gonna like do something like that, and then grab one of these, or I'll just call it anything, and I can plot these down, and I'm just clicking to plot these like so. Right, can use the mouse wheel to scale this up a bit. Right, I'm going to go a layer above because I want to, a couple of layers above, I want to make little kind of shadows. Now it's not exactly rounded the way I want it. So how would I grab this information? Well, can't really do it. There's no lasso tool yet, but you can kind of build it up. Let's do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, and get a little patch like that. Then I grab this. I'll just undo those steps. I can get a little kind of extra bit like that. Right, so I'll plot this down here, 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 and then X, put there. Right, I go here, and then I'm going to right click to make all the colour black, bring in that new colour and give it a bit of opacity, and then I can make a little shadow. Right, and I've kind of got a pipe. Let's jump to set 5 and do circle, take away everything apart from tone 2, and then right click so that they all go white, and let's make it fully so, and I'm going to change this to additive. In fact, let's not, because I need to merge to use that. I'm just going to do little highlights here. And you can see I get little highlights wherever I want. And there's a kind of isometric pipe. Now I'm just going to grab the whole thing. Let's call it PIP pipe. And use the original color, reset all these. Oops, original color, and then I've got multiple pipes I can put down. Change the background color to black. In fact, let's give it a bit of gradient. And then go the layer below, and I'm going to blur it. So we get a kind of shadow, and then right click to make all the colors black. Original color, and I can make a little shadow. If I do 2, I can get, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I can get like different opacities and make a little shadow. Right, and I'm just going to move the whole thing up by capturing it. In fact, I'm just going to undo that last step because I never quite got to the end there. Go and capture all of this. I'll call it P2. Right, and go layer above, and I can like make layers of pipes, put like that. Or I'll just do Control Backspace, and that will delete everything. I'm just left with these. Right, so put them down. I want to just show making these smaller, so I'll just do Control and mouse wheel or Shift mouse wheel, fine tune, and I can make multiple little pipelines. So, and flip it this way, connect that one up. Now, you can't plot when you're outside view, but if you hold down the very top left key, then you can, it will let you plot there. Right, it actually activated that, so it's okay, just cancel it. And let's do one up there. X, I'm going to try to do this. Alright, I just want to capture a bit of this pipe here. P, and then X, and I can make more pipe to go out of view. And then a whole bunch of pipes. Okay, so that's all of that. You can see these are in their own little layers here. And I can merge all, but it will merge these into a single brush, a merged brush. Right, and strange. I should have a new merged brush, right, of all the pipes, so I can get rid of everything. So control backspace, and then I want to go like half scale, so I'll just go down until I do control. There we go. I'm like half size, and a little bit of blur just to help. Just give it a little bit of anti-aliasing, and I can make a little symmetrical pattern. Oops. Like that. And yeah, it gives us a nice little scene here. Now I want to bring the shadow back for some of this. I'm going to do new color, half opacity, and I can add a bit more there. Let's see. Add my little shadows back just to give it that illusion of the angle. Right, so I've got this little isometric scene. I can always change the background tone here because all of this is transparent and give it a bit of atmosphere. Let's see. Another thing I like to do is use the circle to make a vignette. So if we get this one, and it's in black, and I'm going to go to the very top layer and then make it quite big. I can make a vignette. I'm just going to scale it so it's squashed, and you can see how we can get that wrapping around the screen there. Scale it up so it goes out the edges. And there I've got a pretty interesting little scene. Let's see, what can we add? So I'll just do merge all again. And that basically gives me all of this as a new brush. Pull it down, and I've got some lightning here. Let's just reset this and choose like that. Right, and I can do some cool effects with this. Don't know where to put that, but let's put it in the center. Just want to show you how we would change this now. We can bring out any of the, let's do auto update. We can bring out any of the tones that were in there. Right, take out the black, and it just leaves us with these, and maybe introduce a bit of blue. Blue doesn't come through so well, so you might want to tint some stuff. Right, maybe a bit blur. Yeah, it doesn't really come through so well. I can do use additive, but that forces me to capture the whole screen, which is baked pixels for everything. I'll lose my transparency that way. Take that out. Let's get rid of the blue. Make it a bit blurry so that it holds up. Make this white again. And these could be trees if you wanted. Just make everything black. little tree, one in there, rotate it, make it a bit different. Right, and then if we wanted to do some, like a shrub or something, some bushes, like we've got leaf shapes here, and I can right click to get just green, and bring all these tones back. Right, we've got a green tone, and I can play with these to make various tonal changes. It's not really shown so well because this is so dark, it's just going to green, going to brown. There we go. And I can do random size range, random rotation, and then I can plot down some little leaves here, and it'll give me some random stuff. Right. I can take out these tones and just be left with like the highlights, like that. Try to figure out why it's so dark. Okay, so there's only greens in there. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make it even brighter. There we go. A little bit of opacity. And then, there you go, cool little scene. Hey, how's it going, Vase? Saw you in the chat there, showing off a little bit of backdrop designer and making a little Commodore scene purely through the shader. So I mean, I never even seen this until I went back. You can switch through different modes, see it in different styles. But yeah, I always like the look of the Commodore stuff. What else can I add? Let's do some vertical shapes. So set 5 has got like geometry. I'll do this little square, and let's reset all this and make it black. Scale it so it's more oblong, or you can go this way. It goes thinner, and then rotate it. If you hold down Control, it will snap to 5 degrees, and then I can put in like little pillars or something. Now, let's say I actually want to design the pillar and not break everything. I'm just going to go to layer 15. I'll just double click it and just give it some name, right, as to show that I'm going to work in there, and click solo layer. That means only this layer is active and I can make something. So I'll make a little pipe thing. Let's see, that. Oops, make sure you reset these and give it a little bit of a tone. You never used this? Oh well. I'm not gonna judge you. Okay, I'm kind of relying on the pixel shader to do stuff now. I could change the dither mode just for the sake of making this particular asset, I think. I don't actually know if it will work, because the dither image happens to the original thing, and it doesn't really matter what I do if I try and force this checker effect on this. So I'll just put that back to where it was. I'm just trying to get this to be the right shade, so I'll plot it down first, then do auto update, then I'll play with the values to see if I can get it to be just a bit darker. Yeah, something like that, and then I'll make it thinner, and then make it a bit brighter. Oops, still an auto update, so turn that off. And then I'll get the new colour here. There we go. That's all I kind of wanted. A little pipe thing. I can't delete any pixels, because the way this tool works is through images. Everything's an image that you basically stick down with these settings, right? It's more like a kind of sticker effect. Anyway, I've got this circle here, and I can go to the layer below it and just do a little rounded bottom and get the size right. Why is that not doing it? Oh yeah, because that's still hidden. Right, and do that, and do that. And now I can grab this, let's call it a pole. I can basically undo everything that I did there, because I've got the brush now. And I'll come out a solo layer, and it'll bring everything back. Now I've got this that I can plot down. So put one there, let's press X to flip it. Put one there. Let's say I want to get one behind these trees. Now luckily I did put the trees in their own layers, so I just need to go a layer below it, and now it's behind the trees. And put that there. And then one in front of the trees would be like here. And make it a bit bigger by holding down Shift and mouse wheel up. Do something like that. I don't like it. It's ruining my trees. Right. Let's say I just want to make little bars here. So I'll use Shift and E or R, and I think that looks a bit right. And mouse wheel up with Shift to fine tune it, and then X, and we get a little, I don't know, rail or something here. Let's do another one. It's free. It's I've made it free for everybody to mess around with. Don't really care to make much money on it, to be honest. So I can make this like wider, make little stumpy ones, scale it up. Let's bring the scale back. Oh, that's transparent. Yeah, I can do something with this down here if I want. Put some little things in the foreground. Maybe this is like the UI, little UI HUD. In fact, in that sense, I'm going to put it in a different layer. Now, a cool thing about this, let's say I worked in the wrong layer, right? I've got my pipes up here and this, my UI down here. I can actually undo and then go to layer 23 and do Control Shift Z, and it'll, oh, Control Alt Z, sorry. It'll, oh my god. It'll put, damn shortcuts. It'll put these plots in the layer that you're on, so it's kind of a way of swapping your plots out for another layer. I'm just going to grab this section, and I'll call it UI. I'm just going to undo those because I've now got this big block. I'll plot this down instead. Again, get rid of that wee bit. Alright, and I've now got like a little UI bar. Now you can always check it with the grid. If you bring this up, you can see the 8x8 grid, right? So maybe I wanted to get it perfect to that, like there. Right, and it also snaps to the grid if it's set high enough. If it's set below halfway, it won't. It will only snap to the pixel, but if it's past halfway, it will snap to the block. So it's useful for like testing tiled stuff. It doesn't follow the restriction rules yet. So it does support Commodore 64 graphics and Amiga graphics. Yeah, if you want Amiga, you can switch to let's see, Amiga's also 320 by 200, right? But you also have like other options. So you've got 320 by 200 custom 48 color, custom 256 color, 48, and other stuff. Now I was testing, this might be a slightly older version, it's a newer version somewhere, where you can bring in a lookup table. So if you click override palette, and then I think you do Alt L, you can bring in a a lookup table, like a LUT table we call it. I was messing about with this ages ago, but basically it's this sort of image, and you can load that in, and it will change the way that it reads the color tones from the original image to make the pixels. See, this was like an improved one, slightly different tones, to be honest. Like I changed some of the tones, but Alt L, and it's like Atari 8-bit, so it's a different palette completely. Alt L, and it's a full 24-bit LUT, so that will give you the actual colors based on this without the pixel shader, right? Oh, with the pixel shader. So Alt L, I think Shift L or Control L. Oh, that saves. Control L does something else. I think it saves layers or something. If you want to get back, just turn off override palette, and then I think just switch it. Yeah, see, it's a bit buggy. I've not really. I think it's maybe Shift Alt L. Yeah, Shift Alt L gets it away. There's no information about this yet. It's just a feature that I've been testing. But I was testing it with like an Amiga style, where you would override the palette, change the pixel ratio, so you had 320 by 200 square pixels. Then you make your lookup table. How you make your lookup table? You need Photoshop. So 320 by 200 by 32 colors, for example. You would, kind of the way I was doing it was to, so I'd have my original image, right, like this, export it, and then I'll just call it temp, right, and then I'd go into Photoshop and open that. There, right, so it's not got the shader on it or anything like that. Doesn't really matter. All I want from this is the colors. So I could go to index color, change it to 32, and it will give me 32 colors, right? But let's say 32 is too much. I'll say 16, and that gives me room for more later, right? So 16 colors. That's all I wanted, was the color palette from that image. Then I would open the 24-bit LUT, right? And then I would change this to image index color and use the previous one that I just grabbed from that, and it's giving me this, right? That's my LUT table that I would load. So export this. LUT 16, doesn't matter what you call it. Just come here, go to your Amiga style pixel mode, so 320 by 200. Don't override the palette, and then Alt L and load in my new LUT 16, and that's me got a pixelized version with that 16 color palette at 320 by 200. So then I would then export that image, call it Amiga 16 320 x 200, and that leaves 16 more colors for whatever else, right? But bring that into Photoshop and you'll see there, wrong one, that one, right? So now it's just exactly as you saw there, and it's the actual pixel size, so I can switch to the pencil and, you know, continue working as if it was like Deluxe Paint or something, right? If I wanted my palette from this, I could just go image mode, index color, and color 16. I can either say previous or exact, right? Now, if you want it to be true Amiga colors, you have to go to image adjustments, posterize, and I think it's what is it again? I think it's 8. or not 16, right? 16 is the true Amiga values. So if I pick this color, the color palette will be, let's just click on that. Yeah, you'll get absolute, like, you'll get these two being the same, 996655, right? That tells you it's Amiga style. Sorry to ask, but you same person that is on the Mega Style Discord group? Yes, it's me. I'm the one who helped you with the poop, the poop game many moons ago. Before I got very busy. I'm still very busy. I'm just trying to find ways to let go. So I've got 16 more colours to play. Let's introduce another one. So I could say colour 17 is now an extra green tone. Oh yeah, and that's what I was going to say. If you go to your and if you're in index mode, see it knows there's 17 colours now. I can then go to image mode, color table, and that's my palette. Right, and I can decide if I want to swap something out. Right, you can see I can directly affect the palette. Right, just bear in mind, I'm not following any Amiga rules here, so I'll just go for the closest thing, like 4E is probably 44, 2222. Right, that's an Amiga friendly color, unless you're using a 1200, of course, then you've got the full range. And yeah, gets you a start. You can code, but you can't do graphics. Okay, I mean, yeah, some days I can't do graphics either, but that's why I make tools like these, to make it easier. So yeah, so we still have like the original image, so we can always just switch back to Commodore mode, turn on the override palette. Oh yeah, you can do Shift Alt L to reset that LUT table. Basically gets rid of it. I'm going to add some kind of little UI thing for it, just LUT table, custom, whatever. Yeah, I made this during lockdown. Had nothing better to do but make this, so it's a bit old now, but I do very little updates to it. Yeah, I still enjoy it. You can go all the way up to 1280 by 800 with the same palette just to see how it looks. Oh yeah, the other cool thing is, because this image is like a real image, right? We can load your own images in as well, which is cool. I'll show you that in a minute. So you can switch this here, and then you can change the dither style. Just turn the grid off, so you can get instantly different dithers. Right, I've made a few, and later I'll make it so you can add your own, I think, or I'll just make more. But you only need really dither. That's your bare matrix, checker dither, every other line dither. We call that interlace. This is a kind of vertical dither. This is like a mix between the interlace and checkering, I suppose, or bare. And then a few variations of those, diagonal ones, bands. This one's quite cool because it matches the style, and then you can change the range, right? And then there's also like different blend modes. This is more like an internal thing, how it calculates the color ranges. Like this one's like super dark, but you bring this right up, I guess a bit noisy. There's different reasons for using different ones, really, once you get used to using this tool. Subscribe to all the channels that I could find of yours. Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Discord, ArtStation. So the cool thing with this is you can find an image online, right? You can go, You can make AI generated stuff as well, of course. I often try that, but let's just do like clip art of a strawberry or something, right? Something like this. Now it needs to have, I do want transparent background, that's JPEG'd. Oh yeah, there's one. Okay, so I have to download it. Right, and it's PNG. I think it only works with PNG and JPEG. So you've got all these different sets, right? The first 8 are ones that I've created, but you can delete them by right clicking and it gets rid of it. And then you've got a space there, or you can go to the user sections. There's 4 slots, and then you can choose one of the slots and then grab the strawberry, and let's call it strawberry. Right, and I've got an instant strawberry that follows the same color rules and everything. If it's not red enough, you can try and make it more red. I'll plot it down here, right? And then I'll do auto update, switch the color for new color, and you can see I can actually fiddle with these tones. The way that this works is that it will analyze blue, red and green tones in the image and swap them out for these new tones. Right, it's not really showing the outline so well, so you might want to blur it a bit, but I just don't have the pixel definition for it, right? I can bring the res up and you'll see it better. And right, this all depends on the blend mode and stuff as well. I quite like that one. And then your other, your other image. Right, I quite like that diagonal one. Kind of suits the range a bit. Right, so I've got that there. Now I'm going to click solo layer just so I can work on that, and then I can go for my set 5 circle, get rid of these because they all do different things, right? It's like different colours being used. If I switch this to original colour, right, and reset all these, you'll see that I'm using red, green and blue tones in the original image, and then I make it transparent by bringing it out, up down like that, and I can bring in just one, and then switch for a new colour, and then right click to make this like light pink, make it blurrier, or bring the opacity down, and I can do a little bit of highlight on that. Can change the opacity with the number keys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It changes the percent here to sort of mess with the highlighting. And I'm just plotting, right? I'm just clicking down. It's not like a drawing tool, right? So I can make it more interesting. Shiny strawberry. I'll grab the grabber tool out. I don't need that. I'll just come out of solo layer, and I've got that. If I grab here, it's gonna grab basically everything. Let's reset that. It's gonna grab everything that it sees. So if you just want the strawberry, you have to solo that layer. Forget the gradient, that's kind of its own thing. The background gradient isn't part of it. So I'll just do str, and then I've got just that strawberry with the highlight, come out solo layer, and then I can plot lots of strawberries down. Right, it's a little, concept making tool if you like. Right, so I can undo all that, get a new strawberry now. I don't need all those plots that I made to make that, and I'm saving up the plot memory. There's only so many. Banana, can make a banana. Yeah, I'm based in the UK. Hi Jamie. So I think my vignette was baked in. Oh yeah, I made a kind of vignette thing. Yeah, there's the background. I baked in the vignette thing, but I can always bring it back again. So yeah, little strawberries behind the tree. To make a banana, I would do something like, so I could use the circle again. You can kind of see already there's a banana shape in this. So I'll work in an empty layer. These dots mean there's something in the layer, right? And if you hover over them, you see a preview of what's in them. Like strawberries are all in there. You can double click and name it. The names don't stick with a project file, though. I need to fix that. I don't really ever save project files. Right, so I'll plot that down and get rid of, do auto update so that we see it happen there. I get rid of this stuff. Right, so it's still there, and then I can change this cutout amount and then bring the opacity down. Right, and then make them all yellow by right clicking yellow, and then the new color. And I'm just going to mess with these a bit more. Oh, almost. There we go. Banana. Let's just make sure that's cut out completely. And now just do undo to get rid of that plot. And I want to make this banana look nicer, so I'll work in layer 19 again, do solo layer, and put that down there, and then I'll right click to make all the tones a different tone, and I'll go a layer below, it doesn't matter. Do a little, I want it to look kind of 3D-ish. Let's do, I need to make sure I see that. So then there, and oh, opacity works a bit different because I'm using cutout. I need to change the tone. Let's go for a bit more yellow. Let's plot it down first and then do auto update and then change it. It's easier that way. Try and get it to be a bit more yellowish. There we go. Something like that. And make it smaller, and then I'll change the scale a bit so that I'm matching the scale ratio. Oh, turn the auto update off. Make it a bit more yellow now. And then I'll just get like that. Right, now I can grab that. That'll be my banana. I can undo those stages and then commit a solo, and I've got a little banana I can use. Reset all back to the original colour, and then the little shaded bananas. Let's press X to swap the direction around again. Oh, it messed my strawberry up. Now, don't worry. There's a way to get that to fix stuff that's a mistake from the past, and I'm gonna try and do that. So what I do is you do plot fetching, right? Which means when you undo, it will also no, I just broke more. Plot fetching undo. Why is it not doing it? Okay. Fix that one, but another. Oh, I forget how I did this now. Original color, new color. Plot fetching. There's plot fetching, and there should be another checkbox somewhere. There's checkboxes everywhere, and there's no guide to tell you what this does. Preview new colors. Is it that one? Right, anyway, I've got this back as it is. Right, oh right, the original colour. Okay. Yeah, it's not quite working as I expect. So I'll redo them. Right, let's just go turn plot fetching off, right, and go back until I get to that strawberry, right. And what I can actually do is replace it now with that, and then if I press shift and enter, it'll give me everything else back. Oh my god, it messed up. Okay, I broke it. And these were like super old. Okay, so I just need to get rid of those. Right, just imagine it's like some weird history, and it remembers everything, right? It remembers stuff that you did. You can change stuff in the past. So I can do 1, 2, 3 strawberries, go back to this one, do auto update, change the color of that one, and then turn that off, and then redo the one that I did after it, right? Without actually plotting it down. So I can change stuff in the past. Right, I can go all the way back to whatever, right? To some of these leaves and change them as well, like do auto update and then redo with new colors, turn that off, and then shift it. And it's a bit of a weird one, to be honest, right? Because it basically gave me everything. Look, you do shift and enter, it says, do you want to see all existing plots? This may show excess plots in memory, right? I think control enter shows you just up to where you are, so that's kind of what you want. So if you undo control enter, it'll only go to where you are in the undo memory, if you like, but I think you can bring it back. Oh, nah, I'll get rid of my bananas, but don't worry, I've got bananas here. It's the original color, it's the color that I captured it and put bananas down. I make it look too simple. When you're building this for a game, I'm just showing the tool. I mean, I've used it for concepting a few ideas. It could be a game, right? But a Commodore, it would look more like that. Yeah, so that's that. And if I wanted to save like all the plots and stuff, I can do that. I can save a BKJD file. Right, I'll just call it 1, and then I'll reset everything by pressing F6, and then I can open that file. Are you sure you want it? Yep. And I get everything back apart from it didn't switch into the pixel mode. It doesn't remember certain things to do with the settings. Maybe another bug, I don't know. I could make it do that, but it's easy enough just to switch into it and change your mind later. So it does other stuff as well, like I'm going to come out of that. Let's say I wanted to do some cool 3D effect. It's got this 3D distort mode. It gives you a texture atlas, right? It's kind of like how it's going to look, and then you can change these to get a perspective view, change the FOV and tilt it, and it just gives you whatever brush you're on, it just tilts it, right? That's all it's doing, is just tilting your brushes, right? And it can be good for getting a kind of Doom style effect. So once you've done that, you click Capture 3D and it gives you that as a brush, right? Another thing that it does, if you want it to look like perspective, is you can do where is it now, this here, eye level stuff. There's a little dash at the side, which is basically your horizon line. So if you bring up eye level factor, the brush is now going to get smaller towards that line and then bigger the other side if you want clouds or something. Right, the clouds are going to be bigger there, smaller here. So you can increase the size of that, and that's you got the ability to now make some kind of floor. So it just scales stuff automatically for you. Right, up to that point. Right, and if you press W, you can actually see a kind of tiled preview of it, because it tiles like perfectly each side, so you can get a tileable texture. You can also scroll it if you click scroller mode, and you get a kind of scrolling effect. And you can switch it onto Commodore mode and do the same thing, and it will give you a kind of pretend scroller. You can also do like a preview to recolor the layer. You can click preview and choose some new colors, and you can even go through like any of these sets. That's quite nice, that one, kind of Martian. And you can change the sky bottom. I'm going to pick that, and then sky top, I'll pick that one. Let's pick there. I can mess with the rotation of these, make some weird stuff. Right, can bring the opacity down. Oops, opacity down. Oh yeah, once you're happy with the colour, just click bake, and that means like this whole layer's now, all those plots have got stained with that colour, right? Can put the opacity down a bit and do some little half opacity ones to blur it a bit. Like you can blur it a bit as well, actually. Right, and I can just switch it into a different pixel mode, and I'll get some sort of mushed up version of it. I can capture this whole shape here, right, as a brush, and I'm going to turn off all this eye level stuff. But you can also mess with it in real time. It does some mad shit. It's kind of cool. It's cool also with a pixel shader on it, like demo scene. So I'll just do Control Backspace to get rid of everything, and now I've just got this as a brush. Now obviously if I scale it down, you see it's actually just its own thing. If I right click on one of these, I'll reset the scale to 1 and it's tileable, and put that there. Press Y to flip it vertically, put that there, and I've kind of got the start of a kind of shoot 'em up background, right? A horizontal shooter thing. So what I like to do actually is I'm just going to press F6 to reset everything, right? I still have that brush because it saves it. Oh shit, does it? It should save it. Oh, that's weird. Okay, because I captured it, and now sometimes it goes into like a space if I've made a space somewhere. Is it one of these? Oh no, I've lost it. Okay, that's weird. It should still exist. I don't think it's loaded it. Let's see if it's in the custom brushes. I forget what that is now. Custom UI, custom brushes. Okay, this is all of them. Yeah, that's there. Oh, it's that one. Yeah, that is. So it just saves it in any gap, right? The next gap that it finds, it will save it there. So I can put it back to original color. Let me just put it down so I can grab sky colors from it. Right, this is what I want to show you. So reset that. I'm going to put it in this pixel mode for now, just so I get snapping. There we go, and let's do the same up there. Oh, that's not perfect. Shows another snapping mode, show grid snapping, and there we go. Nah, it's not doing the grid right. There's also a way to change the grid, but I forget how. I'll just eyeball it. They need fixed. Right, so plot that down there, and then flip that there. Okay, and I'm gonna go a layer above 10, like layer 15, and let's just change the color up a bit and make it a bit brighter, like that. and plug that there, and then put that there. Right. All I need is a little spaceship. Let's just find something online. Spaceship, clip art. Clip art sort of looks the best, I suppose. Yeah, this one's fine. Right, let's go for that. Let's grab it. We've got a little spaceship there. Let's put this up in layer 19. Boom. Right, now I'm going to switch to pixel mode. Bring that down. It's a bit mad, so let's just go higher res. Let's override the palette for something nicer. That looks quite cool. And then I'm going to click on parallax mode. Right, let's press B to hide the brush, and we get this. Right, now it's not wrapping at the side, but if I just press W, it now wraps at the sides. Right, but even cooler than that is the scroller mode. Right, I'm going to press B to bring back this little ship. Let's undo that one. Now get a little ship that flies. It's going the wrong way, but you can go for scroller mode and I think it only goes left to right. I need to be able to flip this. I'll press X. My ship's flying the right way now. So mouse wheel and mouse wheel over scroller mode makes it go faster. It kind of glitches out a wee bit, but it gives you an idea. So that's the parallax mode off, right? Just gives you that. Parallax mode on. You can shift it around. Yeah. So hit the brakes. And then up. So parallax mode itself just is based on the mouse position, and the layers act as depth, right? So however you build up these layers, you get depth from it. So let me just turn that off and show you exactly how that works. So layer 23 is going to be the closest thing to you, so I could add like a big rock. Let's just find a rock. Mars rock image, clip art or PNG, or needs to have transparency. Looks a bit. This one looks full, right? So save that. Doesn't matter if the color's wrong, because when I bring it in, I can swap up the color. So I'll bring it in here. Right. I love that it does the dithering automatically as well, so that's kind of nice. So add this big rock in the foreground. Right, so foreground layer 23, background layer 0. So I'll put that right here, and I'll go to layer 20, grab my spaceship, put the scroller mode on, parallax mode, and make it go faster. Oh, a bit too fast. Right, and now I'm flying behind these rocks. Why is it being a bit weird? Right, proof of concept. This is the proof of concept, and I can easily change stuff, right? So let's just turn those off, and then look at my layers. So layer 10 is holding that bit of information. Layer 15 the sort of midground, and layer 20 was my spaceship, and layer 23 is the foreground big rock. I'm just gonna undo the big rock. I want to change it a bit. Right, so I'm gonna plot it down and do auto update so I can see the color changes. Press B so I can hide the brush. Right, B just toggles what's there, and then I can bring this slider up. It changes from the original colors that are in the file to the new colors I want to give it, and I can preview by left clicking any of these. Oh, make sure auto updates on, and get something, maybe it's a better tone match or somewhere in between. Right, and I can also play with the scale and make little variations, rotate it with E and R. Do a few of those, maybe some coming from the top. Let's make it a big spiky thing. Right. And I've got the wrap mode on, so it means if I plot on the right, it's going to come through the left, so I can do like little edges and stuff as well. Maybe a little stack like that. Little spikes come off like there. Right, you don't want to crash into these. And let's grab our spaceship. You see how it's also toned now to the these tones, because I had the slider up a bit, so it goes between the original color and the new color. And I can preview it as different tone swaps and even change these. Right, it's also still dithering in real time. That's quite nice as well. So yeah, press P to preview parallax. Whatever layer I'm on is where the brush is going to be, and I can sort of preview this. So stuff like that. If I wanted to make the background, so this layer 10, more blurry, I can click preview. Right, the problem with that is it's previewing these new tones as well. Right, so I just want to keep the original color that it had in that layer, and then bring up the blurriness, and that's now blurring anything on that layer. And if I like it, just click bake it, and then that's now part of all the plots basically in that layer were made with blurriness. I can do other stuff like preview and do cut out, so they get like different, change the opacity so there's less of them, play with the values here, and just do all sorts of weird stuff. Right, that looks kind of cool like that. Bake that, and let's play it. So preview, scroller mode. I need to reset some stuff, so click reset. I'll bring that down. Oh, that's still blurry, that's still got cut out. Let's go layer 18. Let's fly in front of stuff. Let's go to layer 23. So whatever layer you're on is basically where the brush is going to be. It's going to crash. Doing. And all the time you can switch it through different pixel modes while it runs. You know, you can just mess it out. It's got a CRT effect as well. Stop that, it's making me dizzy. So you can turn off that. Let's see, put it on C64 palette, change your blend mode, dither range, dither image. It's very blurry. Let's bring that. See, I like it a bit, but it's just the color range isn't good enough. So I'll just override the palette for something else. Oh, the pixels. Ugh. Let's just bring it up a bit. Alright, I liked it the way it was now. Go back to that. Looks quite nice as well. There's different palettes in here, right? It tells you roughly what they are. Arnie palette, teletext, monochrome, Game Boy. Couple of custom ones, and yeah, I quite like that. Right, what was that doing? Forget. Oh yeah, the CRT effect. So then you get that kind of added effect to it. Let's do it again. Shifting, what's shifting? Oh yeah, shifting is don't think shifting works in pixel mode. Yeah. If you hold down the right mouse button, you can sort of look around. But I couldn't get that working with a pixel shader for some reason. So it doesn't activate when you're in a pixel mode, just flashes. You can also change colours of anything on the fly. So auto update, not auto update, sorry, preview. But the problem is you get all the settings back on it, right? Everything has an effect. All this stuff over here basically affects all the plots on that layer when you're in this recolor layer mode. But you can get completely different looks changing these. Maybe an underwater look. Turn that off. Bake that in. Let's go over there and recolor that layer. That looks quite cool. I like the warm tones in the foreground because that's kind of adding to the effect. Let's go there and preview that. Let's bring it back a bit and blur it more. Fade it out a bit. Be more green tones. Right, and then bake that. I've got a lot of stuff that works quite well for seaweed and stuff. Yeah, like this one. It's tiny. Stretch it. Change colour. Yeah. I can add some of these maybe in the foreground as well, maybe a bit behind these rocks or some. So I'm using E and R to rotate in the mouse wheel to scale, and if you're not scaling fast enough, hold down Control and mouse wheel and it will go faster. You can also use these icons, but you don't actually see it. You can use this slider. Or you can hold down space and you get the slider actually. Space will give you a little quick access. But I always find E and R, it's good for rotation and this is good for size. But I get used to just using the mouse wheel. And to some in front, maybe not too far in front, so this is quite close, right? 21's just above 20. Let's put them there. Maybe some in 22. Make them maybe a bit brighter. So bring a bit more green in. Make them bigger, right? Because they're closer. And then 23, just a bit more green on that. A bit bigger. X if you want to flip it the other way to get a bit of variation. I'm going to like overlap that again. Maybe not. Right. Different petal shapes. Do something cool like this. You can change the colour if you want. Oh, there's grasses as well, or similar. And then let's see how it looks with the scroller mode. Mouse wheel on that to slow it down. You can come out of your pixel mode at any point and get, you know, something like that. Looks like vector art. CRT effect on top. You can also do one little thing. Oh, I messed the palette up. There we go. You can also do scrolling just on a single layer. So let's say layer 7. I'll get these little specks of oil, right? Just to kind of, I've done this with paint and scanned it in to see if it would be any good, right? Let's make it like that and scale it up, bring the opacity down, make it blurry, right? And I'm in layer 7. I'm just going to click a few of these down. Right, and then what I can do is click this scroll layer only and do scroller mode, and it will only scroll the layer that you're on. Right, you can do stuff like that. It's a bit weird when you see stuff moving, but it's good for like an atmosphere. I could do the same for a little ship. Where is he? Yeah. That's a cool effect. Let's try something with that. So layer 19, so he just starts moving and do auto update, and we can mess with how it looks. I quite like these too because you can make kind of negative effect and then do stuff like that. Go ship. All right. There you go. Okay. Fish ship. It's hard to know you're plotting unless you stop the scroll mode. So that's that, basically. I can turn that off and it'll move. And then if I want these somewhere else, so that's all of them, right? I can do cut and paste. So they're now like further back, or cut and paste there. I don't know if I want to paste them over other stuff, because if I cut them again it will cut other stuff out of that layer. There's no way to select it, in other words. I can update the whole layer with preview layer and click that. Do stuff like that again. And bake and then cut, put them down there. They're so far back they don't move. They're moving a tiny bit. Preview the layer, blur them because they're so far away. Fade them out. Oops, wrong layer. Now you can uncheck this if you don't want it to be baked. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoy messing around with it. Like I say, it's free. It's a bit technical at first, but I made a lot of videos in it, and I'm going to start trying to stream it a wee bit more and cover other stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, kind of self-explanatory. I always like how it looks in here. It looks pretty nice. That's it. I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. So thanks for joining the stream and chatting, and I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, feel free to ask me any questions in the Discord, and I'll chat to you there. Welcome. I'll catch you later. Bye.